Welcome back everybody. Today we will be learning how to do a traditional French open air balayage application. The tools we need: painting brush, tail comb, film, clay lightener and 40 volume peroxide. Today I'm going to showcase a very heavy-handed, slightly messy application so I can show you how subtle the end result will still be, just in case some of you are a little nervous to apply this to a client. I am taking 2 to 3 inch sections as we need a strong base to paint on, as we are only surface painting. We hold the section with really firm tension. I am starting on the side of my section to create dimension behind the air, gently painting the clay onto the section with very firm tension. I'm now applying clay to the top side of my section, working with heavier product in the middle zone, working up to the top corner of my section. You can use your finger to skim the product gently over your section. I use my hand as a board to firmly saturate the mids to ends. We repeat the same process on the opposite side, using a slight diagonal back sectioning. This will create a more subtle, soft color result. We need to saturate our sections so they are completely covered to avoid any patchiness. We now gently place our film to incubate our first sections. In future tutorials, I will teach you more advanced painting techniques. For the sake of this tutorial, I will be keeping everything very simple and easy. Continuing with thick diagonal back sections, this freehand balayage application is perfect for clients who don't mind warm in their color. This application will only give you 2 to 3 levels of lift, perfect for your sun-kissed brunette clients and beachy warm tone blondes or bronze. This technique isn't for your cool tone client unless you plan on toning back to a 7 or 6 level ash. I recommend foliage techniques for your cool tone 9 to 10 level blondes. This application is perfect for clients who want seamless color melt that grows out beautifully, being very low maintenance. I'm taking a horizontal section at the base of the crown zone to add brightness into this section. If you'd prefer dimension, I would leave this section out and continue with diagonal back sectioning to complete the back zone. This open air painting technique is an amazing skill to combine with other color surfaces. I use this technique to tip out. I also use it on wet balayage and combined with foliage. This tutorial will give you the foundations to have the skill to master this technique. Let's take your color application skills to the next level. When I tone this color application, I'll be doing a color melt from a level 4 into a 6 and into an 8, and I'll showcase how to do a wet balayage to help the face frame pop. This little triangle is an insurance piece that I leave out on the top of my balayage applications. It gives you a piece of hair that will shadow over any balayage, creating a very safe application and beautiful result. I'm now moving on to the back of the mullet haircut. I'm going to apply the freehand balayage exactly the same, except I'm not going to paint under or behind the ear area. If you have any comments, don't hesitate to put them below, or if you have any questions, you can DM me on my Instagram at hair_by_James_Annabelle, or just hit me up below. You can see how my application looks quite sloppy, heavy-handed, very thick. I'm not painting like in a very pretty technique or very finely. And the purpose of that is to show you how subtle the result will still be. You to feel comfortable with getting your hands in to hair and to start utilizing this amazing tool of freehand balayage. In the front zone, I'm taking my section from along the parietal ridge. I'm applying the clay lightener in the middle of my section, heavily saturating this zone. I'm now elevating this zone and starting to paint along the hairline. This will help to create a beautiful face frame. Making sure this section is heavily saturated, I'm working with an angle, working diagonal back to create more dimension behind the face frame, allowing it to pop. My next section is the money piece. I take a thick section and gently paint along the hairline, elevating the section straight up towards the ceiling. I maintain strong tension before completing the money piece from the top hairline on a diagonal back, creating dimension behind the money piece. Because I'm keeping this tutorial super simple, I'm going to take diagonal back sectioning. This helps to ensure that we keep dimension in our part line when we continue the freehand balayage technique. I continued this process until I finished the top, leaving a small triangle insurance piece to blend over the pre-lightened area. We repeat the same process on the opposite side. You can choose to start your balayage application in the front zone to increase the brightness of your face frame and money piece. Or another great tip is to always remix new clay lightener for each zone so the color has a chance to process, giving even brightness throughout your whole balayage application. Once you're comfortable with freehand open air balayage, you will be able to complete a color application like this in around 20 to 30 minutes. Processing time is 45 minutes. I will be launching a quiz in my community tab if you'd like to quiz yourself about everything to do with today's balayage tutorial. We repeat the same process with the mullet haircut, leaving the undercut zones out. Let me know in the comments below if you've enjoyed me showcasing a tutorial with two very different haircuts to achieve a very similar result. I'm thinking with the mullet, I might not even tone and create a very raw, rusty, caramel balayage result. If you've watched this far, do me a favor and smash the like button and subscribe. And with the longer layered haircut, I'll do a zonal color melt tone, showcasing how you can add even more dimension after your balayage applications. We separate the top and bottom sections from behind the money piece down to behind the nape, all the way back, splitting the hair into two. We now start toning using a 4-level natural to drop the base. I recommend using vertical sections to work cleanly and to not blend the color into other zones. It also helps to be more accurate with how much depth you want to paint in the root zones. I'm using a wet brush to gently brush the root color down, blending it into the next zone. This will create a seamless blend into the next color. I'm now applying a 7 natural to the ends and mid lengths, making sure I emulsify the color gently up into the root color. I'm placing foil just to keep my color sectionings clean. I'm now painting a 4-level natural to the root area in the top zone. I will apply this color as wide as the curvature of the head. If you'd like this whole section to be darker, feel free to take it through to the ends. Continue to use your wet brush to comb the root area down into the next section. To the mid-lengths and ends, I'm using equal parts 7 level ash and 6 natural. The 7 level ash, the ash will always drop to a darker level being blue, with the aim for the mid-lengths and ends to sit at a 6 level. In my experience, when blending with a color melt, if you drop 2 shades of difference between each, working from a 4 into a 6 into an 8, you'll always get a beautiful natural result. Now that we've completed the front root zone also with a 4 natural level, we'll foil that zone out and complete the top. Also working with the 4 level base, working around the curvature of the head. The ends in this zone will be toned the same as the back section in the crown, being half 7 ash and 6 natural. Normally I would tone with damp hair. I just wanted to show you the color result dry from just doing the raw freehand balayage. When applying color, ensure that you work neat and tidy and avoid any mess or color bleeding into other zones. I'm using foil just to stay nice and clean. In the face frame zones, I'm using a half ash beige with half 9 beige, leaving out some of the ends in the front corners as I'm going to pre-lighten them with some freehand balayage to make the face frame and money piece pop. Now with the money piece, I'm going through with powder lightener and 10 volume. I'm also going to be painting it onto the ends of the face frames. I'm leaving a bit of a gap between the old colour so the darkness can blend into the caramel, then into the darker blonde once the colour result is finished. Again, I'm placing everything in foil just so I don't make any decarnation marks on my client's face or on her skin. This is the mullet application, wet, and this is it dry. Just a beautiful rusty lived in caramel. And this is the balayage with the tonal melt with a beautiful face frame and money piece, super natural, beautiful lived in colour. If you like this one, you should watch this one next.